I mean, yes, there are sometimes there will be some good wickets in a tournament. There will be sometimes 350 scored and games that go at high scoring. There will be sometimes wickets where the ball turns, brings the spinners into play. There will be other wickets where it might seem a little bit. You've got a long tournament. You're playing in India, different parts of the country. There will be different wickets, different challenges. The teams that are able to cope with all of those challenges and deal with that are the ones that will end up, being successful. We as a team have to be able to focus on that and work with that. You want to standardize everything and make every wicket a 350 wicket. I mean, there's very good skills on display even in a 350 plus wicket. Yes, we see some great hitting, we see some, terrific shots being played and all that. But other skills get missed out. That's fine on that particular day. But for a few games, when it spins a little bit or something happens, it brings the bowlers into the game. You start rating them as average. Where does it leave the bowlers? Why are they coming then? If all we want to see is four, we have, like I said, we have T20. Play 2 T20 matches then.
Days, I mean, you have kept wickets in ODIs and batted, and when your primary occasion was batting. Your namesake is doing the same thing now. How difficult it is as a role? I mean,
yeah, it's certainly not easy. And I think he's doing a fantastic job of it. I thought Rahul's really kept superbly in this tournament and then batted really well whenever he's got the opportunity to do that, especially in the first game. But I think it is challenging because for someone like him who, having had that experience myself, he's not someone who keeps regularly at all. But he's probably kept a little bit more than I have. As a youngster, he kept right probably up to his under 19 days, and he's kept in a few T20 games. Sorry, as well for Karnataka and all that. So kept a little bit more than I did, but certainly not easy. Considering he was also out with injury for 4 or 5 months, and when we first decided that he would keep, and we wanted to have that kind of option with him as one of the options of being able to keep and bat in the middle order. And we thought we would build him up to this tournament by giving him game time and building him up. But unfortunately, due to his injury, he actually couldn't keep for a while. But the way he's come back, the way he's worked hard, even in his injury, he kind of worked really hard when he started getting back to sort of skills. Spent a lot of time with the wicket keeping, worked really hard on it. So yeah, I thought
the question around Hardik, there have been a lot of talk in the past as well where Rohit had said that there's a lot of clarity about roles of certain players. So if you could just explain the kind of role which you had in mind for someone like Shardul Thakur and how much that is going to change given that now Hardik is not available for this game.
Yeah, so I mean, without going into too much of specifics, and it's hard to go into a lot of specifics in a PC, but yeah, I mean, Shardul's clearly his role was to be that kind of bowling all-rounder for us. In the games that he played, we saw him as someone who certainly has a happy knack of taking wickets, as we've seen, and then bowling those middle overs for us and being like a fourth seaming option for us on certain wickets, which would probably require that fourth seaming option. And plus, obviously, he hasn't had a chance to really bat a lot over the last bit, but certainly.
Just adding to that, how much of a factor Ishan being a left-hander against New Zealand's left-arm spinners, will that be a factor as well? And also that he's played the first 2 games as opposed to someone like Surya who's not played yet. How much of a factor is that?
I mean, it is. It's nice to have Ishan, and he's been, like you said rightly, he's been playing well. He's a left-hander, but again, Surya has also come into some great form against Australia, as we saw, played a couple of fantastic innings. Absolutely fantastic player against spin, as we know, left arm spin or off spin or any kind of spin for that matter. And plus the role may be for a middle overs role, so we'll just have to see which one we want to. We are pretty clear about the kind of roles that people can play. So if we're looking for someone who might look to be a bit of an enforcer for us in the lower middle order, then Surya is certainly someone who can do that. If we're looking for someone a little bit higher up the order, then maybe we might go with Ishan. So it just depends on what we're looking for.